going I?
Yeah, you need a microphone.
I'm sitting here talking the whole time without it. Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise. Amateur. Rookie.
Ready?
Yes.
Nah, I guess not.
I think it'll be fine. Just don't touch me. I'm just kidding. I think you'll have to, but I won't like it.
For what?
Ooh.
Right, ready?
Yes. Yes.
And just keep the intro peppy.
You keep the intro peppy. That's way worse.
There's lava in me. Okay, I'm back.
No more energy drinks right beforehand. You gotta prepare.
Hurts my tummy.
Anyway, alright, we're ready.
I said.
I've been ready.
Well.
Mine's real.
What?
Okay. It's more like our book club that we're letting you in on.
Yeah, and it's really exclusive.
Right. It's in the demands.
Yes,
Nope.
Everybody wants to be in it. Nobody's actively...
Nobody's excluded. I mean, if you want to
I know,
join in,
yeah.
just join in.
Everybody, and that's what I know this is like, well, we're coming to you from the past before, but happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride Month.
It is a June.
Right.
Was that beautiful how I said that?
It was really fanciful, we'll say.
Alright, I'll take it.
Haunting?
Huh?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't
So,
hate that.
You're back here again. Night Cheese Book Club.
Back again.
If this is your first episode with us, let me explain. This is a book podcast led by these two beautiful sisters here. Even
Yes.
from just our voices, you'll know.
Well,
You'll know.
inside too.
That's true. For you.
What?
I don't know.
Did you just diss yourself?
I burned myself.
Oh.
Add that in. This book podcast will bring up some other themes, but no, trust and believe, we are not going to spoil this book for you.
Mm-mm.
You can enjoy this, and then you can enjoy the book, or you cannot. Either way, your choice.
Yeah.
Don't read it. This is not going to put a damper on that.
Yeah, this is for you decide. We're not gonna force anybody to do anything they don't want to do.
Correct.
So, well then.
What have you been up to since we last spoke?
Well,
Not we. We.
What? No, I have been. I don't know. I've been working. I went to I don't want to call it a party because that's not what it was, but I went somewhere and we played board games and it was so much fun. I love board games. I also love winning. Nothing can beat that high. Nothing.
Competition is fun.
It drives me and I become a horrible monster. But you know what?
Always you are.
I'm not apologizing because I love a good game.
It's who you are.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
I went to a baby's first birthday party, and it was very fun. The food was good. Baby Isla, she's freaking gorgeous. She's so cute. I drove, it was...
Oh, I know that baby.
Yes.
Yes.
So it was
no,
about...
that baby does not like me. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I upset it last time.
You just had a moment. Don't take it... If a baby ever cries at you, friends, don't take it personally. They're upset about many things.
Kind of hurt my feelings.
Just don't go in too hot. You didn't. She just thought you were her
sitting there.
mom and then was
I
like,
know.
"You're not my mom."
It was mistaken identity,
cried.
and somehow I got blamed.
If I grabbed somebody's leg and I thought it was my mom's leg, Even today, I would be really upset.
That's true. One time I accidentally touched the collarbone of a woman in a Blockbuster.
Ew.
That's an old-fashioned sentence. And I thought it was our mother, and I went, Mom, and I touched her, and then I went, and then they stood next to each other, same exact outfit.
They planned that to trick you.
And it worked, clearly.
But yeah, it was great. I will say, I would like to apologize to the people that I drove there. We were taking some old country roads through Amish land in Pennsylvania, and that was bumpy, and we're a little yucky.
Yeah.
We got over it, though.
Nobody hurled?
Nobody hurled. There were some close calls.
Oh, no. Well, that's what counts, though.
I'm just glad I was driving, truly.
Yeah, that's because someone gets car sick.
Oh, yeah. I don't like to be jostled.
No, and if she's drunk, do not put her in a car. And
Listen,
this is advice
friends,
for
if I'm ever with you anywhere and we are
drinking.
3 sheets to the wind, don't let me get in a car.
And even if you're out somewhere, she just has to stay there.
I have to stay there or we go on foot.
Or you strap a bag to the front of her like horse feed.
I would let that happen.
It sort of works for you.
I'm trying to help. But in those moments, I don't know.
Till you threw that Tupperware of sick on that cop car. You remember that?
That was my 21st birthday.
Was it? Oh, yeah. All right.
Was it?
No, I don't.
I was older.
Yeah. Yeah, don't play around. It was your birthday.
I think I was 25, maybe.
It was your birthday. But I was there, too. I was at the bar, so I had to be over 21.
Well, he shouldn't have been so close. And luckily, we were in Philadelphia, and they've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, he did not
The
care.
little old Sues.
Yeah. But, so I think we put it off far enough that people are curious.
I love those memes where people are saying that podcasters, it's 37 minutes into the episode where they say, well, let's just jump right into it.
It's so true, though. But see, we're only a little bit in, so. And
just a little bit. We gave you some backstory.
We,
Today's episode.
It's a fancy one.
It's a good one. I wore my appropriate shirt. Those of you listening will feel it instinctively. It is a Stephen King shirt because today we are talking about fairy tale and youthful adventures.
Yay.
Ah. Huzzah. So, fairy tale. Stephen King. He is such a prolific writer.
Yes, I think we both have just enjoyed his works over the years. Who hasn't?
Who hasn't?
He's just literally a staple when it comes to, you think of writers, you think Stephen King.
I feel like most people know most of the stuff about him that's general knowledge. If you haven't, I am so interested. How are you living under a rock so deeply?
Yeah, because it's like hard not to know things
How
about
are
him.
you living under a rock, but you've also found this on the internet somehow?
Yeah. So
If that's you, please let me know. But he's notorious.
Yeah, and like even like his book that's like, I guess it's about writing, but it's sort of also an autobiography. Still interesting. And like,
oh man, so good. What a writer.
Yes.
He really, his style is just iconic. It's so good.
Knows how to get you. Because, I don't know, we both, I'm sure, could go on and on about like the different books that we like, but I mean, maybe we'll do like a special thing.
Sure. I would love to do
a certain spooky holiday.
Everybody's favorite.
We could do some special if everybody else wants to hear it. If you leave some comments about one thing.
There also might be a special vlog coming up on the YouTube for
you'll never know.
Who are Stephen King fanatics.
And subscribing to the YouTube would really help.
While
you
you're there,
find
just
out.
do that.
Just throwing out ideas. But
yeah, he's from Maine. He's so New Englandy. So New Englandy.
Yeah, it's good though.
But this is his newest release. He does have another book that's coming up soon, Holly, that is a continuation of the Mr. Mercedes character, who is also in The Outsider. But Fairy Tale is his return to fantasy after quite a long time, and I was not disappointed.
Yeah.
The cover alone of this thing is just freaking gorgeous.
It's very
It's
interesting.
beautiful.
I thought for a while before, like, because my eyes are bad, I thought it was a dragon's eye.
I think that they want you to think that.
Okay, because I was like, am I just blind or what? And then when you get up closer, you see what it actually is, which pertains a lot to the story, but, you know.
I love that. I love when the cover is a moment in the book. And that is often the norm, but not always. But this was, especially for a fantasy, a great little tie-in.
Some good art. Do you want to... So this one, we're saying, is published September 2022. So, pretty recent. And it's like fantasy, fiction, horror ball.
Yes.
But
There's a lot of...
did you want to
stuff
do
going on
a
there.
little summary?
So, to sum up this book for all of you, we
That's why I'm
join
referring.
our main character, Charlie Reed, a 17-year-old who has had a hard life. He begrudgingly befriends the old curmudgeon. Can you say begrudging and curmudgeon in the same sentence?
But I wouldn't say begrudgingly.
Well, it's
He does it on purpose, sort of.
Yeah. Becomes friends with the curmudgeon near to him.
That's
And
such a weird thing. Near to the curmudgeon.
it's the curmudgeon.
That's kind of a weird thing to say.
And his dog. So the old guy, Mr. Bowditch, eventually reveals some very juicy secret information to him and sends him out on the adventure of a lifetime.
Well, or Charlie sends himself. Either way, we don't want to give out too much from this book just because, like, realistically, I read this book without reading a summary or anything like that.
That's
and
insane to me.
I love a surprise. So, like, that's just me. And when I read it, I was, like, very surprised. But I really enjoyed it the whole time. And, like, to me, it was kind of like 2 books in one. And, like, I surprisingly, after I read, like, the first part, I was like, I really enjoyed listening to that, or I listened to it on Audible. Even though it wasn't necessarily about anything like thriller or whatever, like, I was like, man, I really enjoyed, like, listening to this friendship blossom between this young guy and this old guy, which just sounds really weird to think about.
This is gonna sound insane. I love books and songs about, like, coming of age tales for young men. I don't know why. I love Stand By Me. I really like, I like,
and
what's it called? American Aquarium, that band. There's a lot of tales about, growing up to be a good man. But I don't know, I just like them.
Now that you're pointing it out, huh?
I don't know.
Okay, I could see that. That makes a lot of sense for you.
As the older sibling, I have to be a strong man for all of us.
That's, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I guess that's also why you really like Stephen King.
Really, truthfully, what's funny is I agree. I think this book is very split into, like, the Act 1 and Act 2, where Act 1 into Act 2 is very long, but it just does feel very dichotomous from the before and then, you'll know if you read it. But what's funny to me is that the beginning portion where the, like, story's being laid out, I liked better, truthfully.
That's what I mean. Like, I really enjoyed
that one was good. I think that you, though, would like the adventure portion better.
And I did, because, like, I like fantasy and stuff, and especially, like, this is, like, palatable fantasy, where it's, like, fantasy, but it's not high fantasy that confuses, and that...
With the 45 descriptions.
Yes, and, like, names that I can't pronounce or anything like that. I liked this. I liked the characters in it. It was, like, a good twist on, like, stories we've all heard before, and, like, it was fresh enough that, like, I enjoyed it.
I think that goes to show his writing style, because Stephen King, the thing that, listen, you might not agree, but truly he has the correct writing style, where things have been stripped down, it is bare bones,
Yeah.
and the words in each sentence, each word needs to be there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess
love that. I think that people are reaching for these, like, lofty things that sound smart, when, like, even if you're smart, there is something about a well-turned phrase that is concise, that is smarter still.
Yeah, because you think about, like, conversations that you have, like, a good time having a conversation with somebody. When you look back at it, is that person, like, a lofty king and is, like, being all fanciful? No, it's just
that
like
is who I talk to.
No, well, you think that's the delusion.
And I don't like it.
But
I wish he would just be plain.
He'd just be himself. But, like, you know, it's just a normal conversation between people and, like, how we normally talk to one another. It's not like we're not all, like, trying to decide, like, these fancy words that we need to fit in here. It's just, like, normal, good dialogue. And it really does keep you interested because, like, well, it keeps you interesting, too. Don't try to be something you're not.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
Cut out the fluff.
Yeah, cut it out.
Cut the fluff.
So...
Agreed. I think that it moves the plot quickly. The dialogue is great.
Yes.
The settings are atmospheric.
And if anything, the dialogue kind of makes the characters more endearing, especially the old man, because normally they're not very nice, and this one's not. But then eventually you're like, you know what? You have squirreled your way into...
I think that's a thing with a lot of old people, that you're annoyed at first at their refusal to do smart and safe things, and then, you know, they grow on you, and then they're a little cute.
So, obviously this book, a big part of it is good versus evil, which, who doesn't like that? Got some, like, free will thrown in there, and consequences of moral decisions. Some classic themes, and yet still very interesting.
Definitely. There is a lot to be said. I'm, like you touched on a little bit, Stephen King is known for writing these coming-of-age stories, and I believe it was in I think it was in It, where he says that you don't have friends like the friends you had when you were 12 years old. Mm. And I feel like that's so true. That's just, like, even if it's not your friends, like, you know, maybe you're friends with a dog and an old man, like, those, like, friendships and, like, the things that you're, like, working towards when you're that age are just so weighted with forming your personality.
Yeah.
And have such a, like, you know, like a golden retrospect kind of look to them once you're an old man like me.
Definitely. And, like, it's crazy even, like, looking back now and, like, you know, you just remember somebody you were so close with and just what made you today.
Yeah, just seasons of friendships and, like, the situations that you were in then, and just how exciting it is to explore the world.
Yeah, where it all seems new and not jaded and dark like it feels now.
Yeah, like, I don't know how many other people had that experience, but when I was a youth, I walked everywhere, and I would walk anywhere, and I just did all kinds of crazy stuff. I would take the train and just adventure, go find a new place, climb down a weird hill.
Yeah, like, which is, like, how it should be, and that's what...
Sneak into an asylum.
That is really what makes this book enjoyable. It is reminiscent of that.
Yeah, it, like, really gave me the adventure feelings of my own youth.
I could see that. And, like, another theme that I think is very important is you never know how rich the old person is. Be nice, just in case they are.
You could be in their will.
Just be nice.
We won't reveal why, but also in these adventures, the stakes are higher, which is what is pushing Charlie forward, and I think that adds a really interesting element. As for any story, like, you really do need to have a believable, like, cause moment for why they have to move forward in their journey.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And this one's a doozy.
Especially him being, like, you know, he's a young guy, but, like, he had to grow up fast, which I think a lot of us can also relate to, where, you know, you have to mature quickly, so you end up in these situations where, like, you kind of can handle them, and that you're not as scared as I guess you would be if...
You're already a little jaded.
Yeah, you're already kind of traumatized, so, like, bleh,
You've got your cup of coffee and your cigarette, and you say, this ought to be good.
Pile it on. So, who was your favorite character?
I think Radar, the dog.
Yeah, everybody loves the dog, but this dog, although, they're dogs, but the personality, it's unbeatable.
It's unbeatable. He's a great dog. He's a good boy.
It's a girl.
Girl.
That's
but
funny.
A girl is still a good boy.
Yeah, everybody's good dog.
Good dog. But I like Charlie too. I think they were likable. Even, circumstances make you angry at Charlie's father, which might be my own bias, but
it's relatable though.
It is relatable. But you definitely get to a place where you can understand why he is the way that he is. I love that. I love backstory that makes you see characters' growths or regressions.
Yeah, and especially like the backstory, because this one you'll hear the backstory pretty soon on in the beginning of the book. This one's very interesting, and it's kind of like a make or break, and you just see what happens. But I like that. Who would I say my favorite is? I don't know how to say it without giving it away, but there's a very angry person in this book, not the old man. Although I think he's probably my favorite. Mr. Bowditch is probably my favorite just because he just really grew on me, and I feel like it's the same, his relationship with Charlie, the way it progressed, it just made it so easy for him to grow on you. But the other little angry person,
it's somebody that Charlie meets on his adventures.
I thought it was really funny, and
reads for you.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny, so check it out.
Definitely check it out. I mean, even if, I think that if you like fantasy, don't go into this expecting it to be high fantasy.
Yeah,
it's very much not. More, I really liked, someone described it as a love letter to The Wizard of Oz and Ray Bradbury, and I think that perfectly sums it up.
Okay, I could see that. So I not chose the game this week, but I'm doing the little game if you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
This one, I love it, this or that, and this one's Fairy Tale Edition. So I'm going to say, this one I was looking up fairy tales, and they're, how most fairy tales have that dark truth that they used to have, and then they got cleaned up over the years and became something else that was fun for children. So I have 3 that I'm going to read, and you pick this or that. So this one I went with Pinocchio, and the first option is you get mad that you're not a real boy and you kill Jiminy Cricket with a hammer and you're a monster. Or you turn into a real boy and you're happy, but then you have to sit on Geppetto's knee all the time.
Oh, both are so unpleasant.
Yeah, take your pick.
I really don't want to sit on Geppetto's knee, but I think that I'm going to have to.
Oh, but he loves his little Pinocchio.
That is stifling.
Uh-huh.
But I would not want to hurt an animal or an insect more than that.
Really? Okay, well, have fun bouncing on that old man's knee. This next one, we're going Little Mermaid. The first option is you get your tongue cut off, the prince is tricked into marrying another girl, and you turn into sea foam. Or you do get a pair of nice hairless legs, but then you have to marry a man.
Sea foam. Just kidding. I take the second one. I'm a Trixie. He won't be able to find me in the castle.
That's true. And not having to shave your legs, you can just slide around like a seal.
That's worth it for itself.
Yeah, get away from him.
Yeah. Do you know how fast I'd be in the water?
Like a bullet.
Exactly like a bullet.
I like that. Glad. Okay, this last one I thought was pretty funny. So it's the thing that Frozen is based off of, I think. It's called the Snow Queen. So, your first option is shards of glass get stabbed into your eyes and into your eye and your heart, and eventually they turn into ice. Then you get kidnapped by some lady in a snowstorm, and then you get put in a castle, and you're not allowed to leave, and it's guarded by bears and snakes and porcupines. Or you have a warm and loving embrace with your sister.
I'm gonna pick the first option.
Ow!
I would pick the first option, except for the ice shards in my eyes. Not into that, so I guess I'll go for the second.
It seemed to be only one eye. So if you had to pick an eye...
Oh. Left.
Left, okay. Yeah, I can see...
Left that I want to keep.
Our mother recently had to wear an eye patch, and I'm going to say it was quite stylish.
I think they look great.
She has...
Hello, Margot and the Magicians.
That's
TV
what
series.
I showed her pictures of that, and she got ideas, but like...
I'm not even kidding. I think she talked about bedazzling an eye patch.
That's why, because we were talking about Margot's eye patch, but...
It looks good.
I don't want to say our mother has a villainous face, but think like...
She looks
Elle
like...
Driver from Kill Bill.
Yeah, well, she looks like Uma Thurman and like Meryl Streep.
She's pointy.
But yeah,
face.
in like a black leopard print
Yeah.
kind of way.
Pointy face, pointy eyes. She has
Pointy eyes.
She found out she has long pointy
Sorry,
eyes.
Susan.
I know, we're just sharing her business on here, but I mean, she's doing great. So
Yeah, those new eyes are a working.
I only say this because I love her.
I'm glad for her, really,
Me
and
too.
because I constantly need her help. It really does help me that she has working eyes.
That's so true, and that she can like see to drive a car, because that's always cool.
Right.
Well, is it?
It's that
It's the
time
time.
again.
Ooh.
Everyone's favorite time.
Yeah.
Our haiku and cheese pairing.
All right. You've all been waiting. We know you have.
Lovely. I'll go first.
Okay.
Because you went first last time.
Go for it.
So my haiku is, Charlie and Radar, is there bravery enough? Adventure awaits.
Oh, what a jolly haiku.
Yeah, jaunty.
Yeah, that's good for
I
it.
felt jaunty.
Mine's a little more critical.
Well, don't cut off my cheese pairing, you old hag.
I'm just excited.
I like that you're excited. I mean, if you're not excited for your... Listen, if it's poetry, if you don't believe in it, do not read that to anybody else.
If you're not excited by the poem that you wrote for
Yourself.
your,
Don't torture somebody else with that.
your own podcast that
Right.
you do in your downtime, what
What are
can
you
you be
doing?
excited for?
My cheese pairing is Velveeta. Because it reminds me of childhood. And also, I find it transformational.
It really is.
You're just gonna
It's a
have
solid. It's a
some
liquid.
French fries. You put some Velveeta on there, that's different. You like... I know you also, listener, like a very crispy, very sharp cheddar grilled cheese.
Mm.
You add in a little Velveeta,
Mm.
that baby's transformed.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, no,
Mm.
absolutely.
It's a mood.
God, I love Velveeta.
It
Like,
feels adventurous to me.
if I could just have a tub of it, I wouldn't sit in it necessarily.
It sounds like you want to sit in it.
No, I'd have an ice cream scoop that I'd keep in there.
Oh, no, no. Stop punching your microphone.
I just got these. Well, don't say Velveeta, and I
expect you not to punch your microphone.
I know now because it gives me that's
Right,
all the
of
protein
course,
I
of
need.
course. Oh.
There's I'm probably part Velveeta at this.
I don't believe there's any protein in Velveeta, and I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't want to know, and I'm scared to look at the ingredients.
It's a food-like substance. It's not a real food.
No.
Sorry, Velveeta.
I know. We just ruined our Velveeta sponsorship. I
Kraft
hope you're
is
happy.
revoking
Oh, no.
sponsorship.
We've pissed off Big Cheese.
Piffed him off to Jesus.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just.
That would be... Listen, if you're a cheese monger
Yeah, if you're just a
or maker,
monger maker.
either one, and you'd like to sponsor us, please reach out, because we both are fanatical.
And we'll say whatever you want us to say if it involves free cheese.
Right. Sure. Right.
Let us know.
Well, why don't you, at that,
and
read
on
us
that note,
your haiku.
I did
It's a mini.
Boomers rude as hell. Down the well to learn something. Radar is the best.
I like that.
Yeah.
And also, there's no way boomers are listening to this.
Well, like
Maybe.
like
No.
just let us
live.
Yeah. Let us have our adventures. Except we can't afford it now. Woot woot. Why aren't you as depressed as I am?
I'm just
I'm
thinking
not
that maybe
depressed.
this is the time in your life where you befriend one of them.
That's what I'm saying. Befriend every old person you know because they might have money. I can't stress that enough. And if that's not what you got from this book, I'm not exactly sure what else to tell you.
What is your cheese pairing?
I said mozzarella because it's delicious. I could eat a lot of it. It fills me up. And that's how I feel about fantasy. It's just like good and I love it. I could eat a log of fantasy.
Don't say log.
But
I know it comes in logs and balls, but just don't say that.
I could eat a balls of fantasy. Yeah, see, log sounds better. Nah, log sounds like
Turds.
Sorry. I wasn't gonna say it because I thought you'd get mad.
I am angry right now, if you can't tell. Well, friends, on that note, on that stinky note, that brings us to the end of our program. With our last
stinky notes.
segment, grazie and goodbye. This week, what are you thankful for?
Well, I'm thankful that I can, first off, think on the spot because I didn't write anything down. But I was actually thinking earlier, like, I'm grateful to be able to, like, since I switched to first shift at work, being able to, like, have a better schedule just has changed everything. Like, it was so hard. And, like, if you work night shift, I feel for you. Like, I did it for a while. She does it. Like, it just sucks. And it, like, sucks that it takes so much of your life, and so much of your life revolves around that schedule focused on work. And that stinks because, like, that's not what life's about. But sometimes you just have to do it. And so I feel for you. And for switching to the daytime schedule, I feel so much better. I'm getting better sleep. I just feel like healthier and stuff. So I'm just very, very grateful that I had that opportunity and that, I'm just back to my old self.
That's great. You do seem like that.
I feel it. I didn't realize it, but I haven't been sleeping for months. Yeah. So that's probably not good. So what are you grateful for?
Don't look at my paper.
Dear sister?
I was looking at your paper.
Yeah, I know.
and
I
saw
could
the
see you
blank
looking at
box
it. She
and I was
looks at
concerned.
she looks at my phone too while I'm texting and doing other things. I see
I
her
won't
do
apologize for being
it. You nosy.
a detective. If it's there, I'm gonna figure it out.
You're lucky.
That's all I'm saying.
You're lucky we have the same ideas all the time, and you already know what I'm doing. So
Well, you will know that
whatever.
this week I am grateful for my garden. I absolutely love to garden. Plants are freaking amazing. And this time of year, it is just such an exciting time with all of the tomatoes and peppers, strawberries. It's just non-stop party times over in the garden.
Then I'll just add on to that. I'm grateful for the deer who likes to eat the garden.
Those bastards. They come through and decimate. And then I also
But they're
just
just
feel
hungry little
bad
babies.
because they're hungry babies.
And they're so cute. Literally yesterday
And they're sloppy.
this
Jerks.
sounds weird, but we live next door to each other. When I was walking over here yesterday, a deer ran by me, and I was like, "Oop, you're in trouble."
I'm afraid that they're gonna bite me.
Yeah, like
They must go wild sometimes.
I don't want like a hoof to the face, so I didn't
There
say
was
anything.
a TV segment in the 90s called When Animals Attack 4. And in that, there was a deer that had gouged a lady with its, like, head fang horns.
Horns.
Antlers. Jinx.
Oh my god.
There's literally an antler on the ceiling right now. What am I thinking? It was a found antler. This wasn't taken from anyone.
Yeah, they fall off.
They do fall off in
Yeah.
spring
So nobody did that.
sometimes. when they...
No, that is good though. Yeah, like gardens are good.
Oh, it's just so peaceful.
Veggies are
It's
nice.
just supporting the earth with flowers, bees,
Heck yeah.
bugs, skinks. I have a special place in my heart for skinks. I just love them.
As long as they're outside, it's A-okay in my
It
book.
would be upsetting in the house.
Yeah, I don't need. Well, because then with the cats, it would just be there'd be
It would get
murdering,
ugly.
and I don't need that. So.
So, no murders this week, friends, please.
Yep.
And with that, we will check you on the next episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I
It's
can
gonna
already
be
tell.
a great one.